Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so today's video is going to be a bit interesting. We're going to be talking about a now viral, controversial e-girl slash creator by the name of Ray, or Being Betrayed, or Pretty and Doll-like. She has a few different names, and this is what she looks like. You've probably seen this image passed around by now. It's become a bit of a meme, right? We have this woman who kind of looks Asian-ish, these like gothic, pinhead style piercings. I'm not a fan of that look, but who am I to judge, right? Anyways, this picture is making its rounds. People are turning it into, a meme and whatnot. And she has quite a controversial history, and she's being exposed in this video called Being Betrayed, Roblox and TikTok's worst e-girl. And in this video, it talks about this character Ray and how she's Asian fishing. The reason I use the air quotes is because in this same video, he points out the fact that he doesn't know if she's even Asian, so he's kind of just making accusations. In this video, he does in fact point out like a lot of racist jokes and things she's made, and she's done things like, salutes to that one funny mustache guy in 1940. She does a lot of very interesting and controversial things that I'm not necessarily defending, but mind you, she is 18, and there are screenshots going back a year or so ago, so she could be 16, 17, and I think that kids are stupid. I think kids do very stupid things and make very stupid mistakes, and I think this is the case of a child being stupid and dumb and doing controversial things, and years later being exposed for doing dumb, controversial, stupid things in this video that now has over 147,000 views. And the reason I wanted to make a video about this is because this girl's life is ruined. Essentially, everyone on Twitter is memeing on this girl, fat shaming this girl, doxing this girl, posting her address, pretty much posting her family's information, anything you can think of this girl is having done to her over posting controversial things, whether that be jokes, memes, salutes, things like that. Again, I'm not defending these things, but I think that as a child, you are to be given a bit of a pass. Not necessarily a pass to continue doing so, but a pass to learn from what you've done without having your life and your future ruined for something as dumb as, racist jokes, cringy jokes, edgy jokes. So this is the video. It's pretty viral by now. It came out 4 weeks ago, called Being Betrayed, Roblox and TikTok's worst e-girl. We're just going to kind of watch this on 1.25 speed, and I'm going to pause it and kind of give my thoughts and things that I looked into as I'm editing and searching into the video and more about Ray.
Ever then just tell me that! Just tell it to my face! It's not that fucking hard, is it? It isn't! It's not! You're a fucking coward! You can't just tell me what you truly fucking want! Just fucking tell me the truth! I want the fucking truth! Are you planning on dating this girl?
I don't know.
So the video already starts off with corpse husband over here, not actually, it's a joke, and this girl having a breakdown, screaming at the top of her lungs on a Discord call or something that looks like it maybe leaked, maybe someone uploaded it or recorded themselves to upload it, whatever, and some silly music in the background, right? So we're kind of going into this with the idea that this creator, ETK Creates, does not like Ray already. He's kind of teasing the fact that she's having a mental breakdown, dealing with a bad relationship, which I don't think is funny. I don't think is cool. I mean, if someone's going through a bad relationship, it's not best to air it out and make jokes about it, right? Now, let's just continue the video.
Just fucking love me. Just fucking love me.
Someone in the dark.
Before I get into the video, I just want to give a quick disclaimer. Please do not go harassing anybody that I talk about in the video. It is already for the purpose of holding people accountable and keeping things concise. That being said, let's get straight into it.
Okay. So don't harass anyone. Just hold them accountable. That's very interesting. Very interesting way to phrase that, EKK. Very interesting. Just hold them accountable.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Now, I'm sure if you've been on TikTok in the last few months, surely you have noticed the sudden explosion of a certain alternative fashion style that has started to explode in popularity. And this style is called dolly makeup, a complex mixture of gothic, doll-like Asian-inspired makeup with alternative and goth makeup. Now, this subculture of alternative fashion has a way of attracting some of the most horrific and mentally deranged women into it.
So we're already starting off the video. He's saying that he mainly thinks that people who do this kind of makeup are horrific and mentally deranged. Mind you, he's going to spend 12 minutes, almost 13 minutes, accusing this girl and saying that she's racist and she's Asian fishing and all kinds of other things, but also kind of phrasing the fact that this woman might be mentally deranged. Also an 18-year-old who possibly was 17, 16 in some of the screenshots and content in the video. So he knows this. He knows this woman could be possibly mentally deranged, maybe has a mental illness of some sort. Already starts the video off with a clip of her having a mental breakdown on a Discord call to a boyfriend or something. And instead of trying to help this woman, reaching out to her privately, trying to get help for this girl, he's going to make a 13-minute viral hit piece that's going to cause her life to be ruined. Isn't that cool?
I'd like to introduce the topic of the video. This is Ray. Now, Ray, or BeingBetrayd as she goes by on all platforms, is an 18-year-old TikToker, I suppose, would also go by an internet personality. Now, I've been seeing Ray on my TikTok for just a little bit now, and on paper, she is just some Roblox playing, makeup doing persona, nothing too much. Nothing too much to write home about. However, as time went on, I had noticed an increasing growth of people accusing her for a number of things. It had started at Asian fishing, which, if you don't know, it's a fetishization of Asian culture by non-Asian people attempting to appear and pass as Asian. Now, Asian fishing I personally find weird, sure, but it's not as morally bad as anything else she was being. I think it's enough for a person to get publicly criticized, but
so again, he accuses, he mentions these Asian fishing allegations and whatnot, but then later on in the video, he actually says she doesn't know if she's Asian or anything, which again, I think is just kind of a strange accusation. I guess for writing purposes, for scripting purposes, it's kind of like, okay, this is what kind of brought her to my attention. But it just makes you look really ignorant if you're going to say, I don't know if she's Asian, but she's Asian fishing. She's not Asian enough. I don't know. She's white passing. She's very Eurocentric. That's a lot of like buzzwords he says in this video, which to me are stupid. If you don't know if someone's white, if you don't know what someone's mixed with, if you're not going to make them pull out their 23andMe so that you can, accuse them of being racist and whatnot, you really shouldn't use it as a first point of your video.
Nothing much more. But this opens up a door and possibilities for other things, the other problematic things she's been accused of, to be valid. And so I opened the can of worms, and it was much worse than I had initially assumed. So let's dig into just how bad is Ray. Now, Ray's being accused of a number of things. Things varied from actually true, with there being sizable evidence, not only multiple people's accounts, multiple people's screenshots, multiple people's recordings of her. Things that are actually true can be proven in our common knowledge.
Okay.
Then there are things that are more in the alleged side, and then there are things that are just he say, she say. If anything...
Okay, so he's going to have one part that is true, two parts that could be completely made up, allegations, and then he said, she said. Now, obviously, you can understand from a journalism perspective, if you're going to make a video for, let's just say he has 9,000 subs for 9,000 people to see, and in this case, 147,000 people ended up seeing it, why it's important to not include things that are he said, she said, and allegations. Of course, it's fair to bring up allegations. We've kind of been looking into them with the dog pack stuff, all the Mr. Beast stuff. But if you're going to have 2/3 of your video be he said, she said, and allegations, hopefully these are allegations that can be backed up or have some sort of witness or something other than just, again, he said, she said, because then at what point do we even know what is an allegation or what is just someone who dislikes this girl just talking out of their ass?
Falls into any one of those three categories, I am going to directly specify if it is that. To start off with the strongest thing, with the thing there's the most evidence of, and probably in my own personal opinion, the worst thing that Ray has done across the board, racism. Now, Ray has a long history of not only partaking in racist humor, but being an actual unabased racist and a Nazi sympathizer. Now, a lot of people like to normalize and give racist humor a pass, but I would argue...
So again, he says she's just a racist, right? He says what did he say? An unabased racist?
Now, a lot of people like
to
normalize
unabased
and
racist.
give...
So he says racist jokes and then unabashed racist. So what I'm going to guess is that she said as a joke, I'm racist, or she said some type of slur, or she made some type of reference to a protected class of some sort as a joke in her eyes to a server full of people that she thought were her friends or that were other people who shared this kind of edgy, dark humor. And he says that she's just 100%, without a doubt, unabashedly racist, right? There we have it.
Racist humor a pass, but I would argue that unless it's between you and your friends who are close to you and you're all of the same race, racist humor is not only weird, but depending on the race that you are, historically speaking, it can be worse, implicatively. I truthfully believe this. A white person who uses black slurs or engages in racism against black people via humor is far worse than a black person who is using jokes, a joking slur, or a joking racism, joking something between them and their other black friend. So you take somebody like Ray, who is of no Asian...
So again, he says that it's weird. Sure, I wouldn't argue that it's weird. But he says it's like, what did he say? Culturally offensive and whatnot. And has like a place in society that it's offensive and blah blah blah. There are so many comedians who do racist towards, white comedians do racist jokes towards black people, everybody laughs. Black people do jokes about white people, everybody laughs. I guess because it's just this girl, and the jokes don't hit the way that you want, or it's not your type of comedy, or again, it's a little too edgy for you, that it's, makes her the worst human being alive.
No Hispanic, no black, no other descent other than white. She has.
So there's a part right here where he says, oh, this is my first seeing her and I thought she was Asian. So this is what she looks like on the bottom, and that's what she looks like after Asian fishing. Again, in this video, he confirms that he has no idea if she's actually Asian. I don't think she's ever come out. I tried Googling what her age was to help with this video. I tried Googling what her race was. She says that she's Asian. So basically, this ETK Creates guy says you're not Asian enough, right? And he includes a lot of this over and over as some type of way to prove and justify him not thinking she's Asian enough. I just think that's really stupid.
Like Ray, who is of no Asian, no Hispanic, no black, no other descent other than white. She has your Ray. Joking slur or joking racism, joking something between them and their other black friend. So you take somebody like Ray, who is of no Asian, no Hispanic, no black, no other,
no Hispanic, no black,
other than white. She has Eurocentric features. She's very pale. She has blue eyes. She has red hair and freckles. And now,
okay, so she has all of those features, and so she cannot be mixed with anything without a shadow of a doubt, right? And so there's messages of her. This was her calling me ugly. She says we don't need ugly. C word for Asian people, B word for, Spanish, Mexican people walking around, and Arkney, bottom of the pecking order models, and C word for Asians. She's white because she's blonde, and her features is a effing B word. Bean, she ain't white. Yeah, okay, ugly N word with a A. This was her calling me ugly. Again, I'm not defending any of this, but what is the context? Like, is the other person she's arguing with also saying slurs? There's a lot cut out here. You can do a lot with just one screenshot of text. I'm just saying.
Now, in the modern day, she covers up all of those things with dyed hair to appear. Now, mind you, the same person that you guys are vehemently defending just pulled a racist triple-double. She just used an Asian slur, a Hispanic slur, and the soft A, all in the same sentence. If you believe, honestly, that a white woman who openly uses slurs, performs Nazi symbolism, actively perpetuates stereotypes, and then complains when people are oppressed is not a racist, you are brain dead in some way.
Somebody like you deserves to be hit in the street by a fucking moving bus.
Okay.
It's people like your ass that doesn't deserve to live. You deserve to be destroyed. You're on Earth for literally no fucking reason. You deserve to die. Your soul does not.
So this girl cannot make edgy humor, right? Again, you don't have to agree. I don't necessarily agree. If she was making jokes like this in my Discord or something, we'd probably have to let her go, right? Now, either way, she made edgy jokes. She apologized for it, apparently. But that's not okay. That's gone too far. She's the most evil human being alive. She's not Asian enough for you, blah, blah, blah. But you can include this clip of low tier God saying that, in context, I wish this person would, not be alive anymore. So you're allowed to do that, but she can't make edgy racist jokes in a Discord, right? It's not like she's going out on the street saying racist things to random people. She's in a Discord which she assumes is private with her own community and like-minded people, of course, with edgy humor, and they have their own mindsets and blah, 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 blah. They might think some things are funny while you don't. They might think some things are okay while you don't. Again, I'm not defending it. I think, racist jokes are really weird. I think a lot of things can be funny that other people don't agree with. I love comedy, and there's a lot of comedians and things that make some racist jokes that are quite humorous, like Dave Chappelle. Either way, that's crossing the line. She's not allowed to do that. She's not allowed to do the funny mustache guy salute in a private Discord, but this guy can say that he wishes she wasn't alive because she made those jokes. You see what I'm doing here? You see where I'm going? Some people might think you making jokes about wanting to end somebody's life, or that they should end their life, isn't okay in my eyes. Neither is the racism in my eyes. But again, we're talking about an 18-year-old, 17-year-old, possibly 16-year-old whose life is now ruined.
Deserve to be on this planet.
Here, what Asian or maybe even of Slavic descent?
Okay, so you don't F with, don't you? The hat. To recreate the pic so it's better for real. Nah, do it. I won't tell it to you. At this point, I might, just to piss people off, right? So that's her comedy shtick. She likes making people angry.
Descent doesn't really matter. Ray is not only perfectly comfortable
My
using
reaction to this information, and that's her doing the little salute right there. Ray, yesterday at 8 p.m.
Asian and Hispanic slurs, but she's absolutely
And
comfortable.
then here's her on a call doing that salute again. Let's hear what he has to say.
Of Slavic descent doesn't really matter. Ray is not only perfectly comfortable using
Hold on.
On this planet.
here what Asian or maybe even of Slavic descent doesn't really matter. Ray is
Slavic descent. So he's accused. He doesn't know what race she is. She's not Asian enough, and now he just accused, basically making up the fact that she could be Slavic. Doesn't really matter. Does it? Because in your eyes, you know, if you are a certain color or you're a certain race or you're a certain culture, you're allowed to get away with certain jokes. You're allowed to say that people shouldn't be alive, but she's not allowed to make this stupid salute because she's white. She doesn't pass the Asian test. She doesn't pass the multicultural ethnic test.
not only perfectly comfortable using Asian and Hispanic slurs, but she's absolutely comfortable using a slew of other slurs and homophobia. There is no justification for racist humor, even if you are trained into doing it by spending a lot of time on the internet. You are still absolutely responsible for your behavior, especially when you're choosing to expose yourself to spaces like this. If you do not have the common sense, or you develop the common sense too late, you might end up getting caught in doing something, having to take flack for things that you were.
Maybe she doesn't have common sense. You've already accused her of being mentally deranged and ill in the very beginning of the video. I don't think it's quite insane to think that maybe this girl's not okay in the head, and maybe she should have got something like therapy before having her entire life ruined and the potential of going to college or getting a career ruined. But instead, let's make this video again, playing our little video game, accusing this girl of being the worst e-girl because she's racist and makes horrible jokes. Dude, come on.
Out of your mind when you did. Sure, you can apologize for it, but if you're going to apologize for it, that's under the pretense that you're never going to do it again. And even then, apologies are not ironclad. Ray will make an apology video, a black video on her TikTok where she talks about how I'm sorry for using slurs, but then there are screenshots of her using slurs in the modern day, in the past, in the modern day,
The
up until
modern
even
day,
now.
it's
She's
kinda
even
funny.
perfectly comfortable using ableist terms like the R word and other things. Ray is perfectly
The
fine with
R
slinging
word.
any word because again, she doesn't care. She is a chronically online, Eurocentric young woman. She does not
Chronically online, Eurocentric one won't. What the hell is that buzzword term, man? That's bread tube central.
care about anybody but herself. And you're gonna come to see that the more we get into this video. And she claims to be changed from when she did these things, but if you remember the salute she did a while ago, she even remade that Nazi salute. So clearly she doesn't care
What day
whatsoever.
is this? What time are these? Like, there's no dates here. All we see is today, and then we see like yesterday. But there's no times. Was this screenshot taken yesterday literally, or was it taken yesterday as in 2023, 2022? I'm not defending the salute, but we need dates. We need times. None of this means nothing to me. You can't say she apologized and did this and not tell me what day this happened and what day she apologized. Again, not defending any of it, but none of this means anything if it's just a random picture with no context in terms of date or anything. It's so stupid.
However, this change isn't very real at all. It's seemingly very performative. I also hate the normalization of having a racist phase. Ray has had several racist phases. It should never happen. There is no excuse for being racist, even if you're conditioned into it, because you're still going to end up committing the actions that a racist person are, and bold of you to assume you deserve forgiveness for externalizing hatred. She also claims to not be Asian fishing, while using makeup that eliminates her natural features, like her freckles, her red hair, her blue eyes, all of that. Contacts, hair dye, everything, makeup. She turns herself very pale. She turns her pupils...
Maybe she likes it. Are people not allowed to do things they like? People can do this at cosplay or Comic Cons. I have a friend who looks just like this during Comic Con when they want to cosplay as like a Naruto character. Are they Asian fishing, or do they just like the look of something? Dude, like, even if she was Asian fishing, like, you're also accusing her of being Asian, racist to Asian people. Who the heck's gonna cosplay as a group they hate? Who the heck's gonna... It's so... Dude.
black and or brown. She turns her hair black and she tries to do these very Lolita-centric poses. Her defense against Asian fishing is that she was indeed Asian, but even Ray...
Okay, so her defense of doing Asian face is that she's Asian. You don't know. Again, you didn't do the 23andMe. You're not her mommy. You're not her daddy. Who are you? You are a commentary guy. I'm a commentary guy. I'm not going to accuse people of not being white enough, Asian enough, black enough, Hispanic enough to do something when they're literally going to tell me what their race is. What is this argument? What is this point in this video for?
Even if you are Asian, you must have the most slightest tinge of Asian within.
Even if you are Asian, you must have the slightest tinge of Asian. See, she's not Asian enough. She doesn't pass the ETK creates tier list, the race list, right? It's like that Family Guy meme where he's holding up the skin color graph. She's like right down here, so he's like, I don't know, you're not Asian enough. You're not Asian enough. Sorry.
You because you are very white passing in quite literally every manner. I don't see a
This is
single
so cringe, dude. White passing. This whole video has just been buzzword bullcrap. You can tell this is exactly why this girl's getting canceled, because this is the kind of stupidity, the kind of dumb video that ends up going viral on Twitter of these chronically online Reddit and Twitter people who hate everything and everyone if they don't worship and blindly believe what they think. And they end up saying like, white passing, Eurocentric features, racist, you're perpetuating stereotypical nonsense, stupidity.
Asian feature on you other than the things that you choose to accentuate with makeup. And then in your excuse for Asian.
Okay, so we have like this girl, I'm dead. Asian fishing is crazy though, I see ya. I'm not Asian fishing, dog. I hate C-word slur. Again, this could be a joke between friends. They literally have like a crying, laughing emoji that this person sent. I'm not defending the slurs, but if it's a joke between friends and maybe she is actually Asian, what? That'd be like me, someone saying, oh, you're white fishing, and I'm like, nah, I hate whites. Bro, I'm white. I got white in me. Like, what the fuck? Again, see, this is from March 4th, 2023. Was she 16 or 17 in this? We don't know nothing about any of these dates. We just know this stuff ruined her life.
Asian fishing, you don't actually acknowledge the Asian fishing. You actually just brush it off by saying an Asian slur and saying, I hate Asian people. I'm not Asian. So pick one. Are you Asian and doing dolly makeup and you're acknowledging that dolly makeup is inherently a form of Asian fishing? Are you white, racist, and lying? I'm for sure going to go with the latter, but it's up to anybody for what they want to believe on that. Not to mention, she likes to talk about how she hates when black people...
Okay, so she said, I'm tired of people acting so oppressed. Like, so could she. But why stoop to that low of a level, even if you think she's being racist? Most of the people of color online that claim to be oppressed live in a nice neighborhood with middle-class parents. LOL, like, OMG, you're so oppressed. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with what she said? That kind of reminds me of like Hassan Piker, who, you know, goes online acting like a victim, and he's actually like a rich millionaire living in a mansion. Again, out of like all the offensive things she said, this is probably like the least offensive thing. She's allowed to have an opinion, right? I mean, I think there are people of color who are oppressed, but in this statement, most of the people of color online that claim to be oppressed live in a nice neighborhood with middle-class parents. I'm sure you can argue that's not factually a correct statement by saying like most of, but if she just said some people of color online that come to be oppressed live in a nice neighborhood with middle-class parents, I mean, I wouldn't argue that's entirely a wrong statement, and she's not allowed to have it. I mean, there are probably plenty of black people who might go online and Twitter or something and say like, oh, my life's hard, but then when they log off, it's not hard. There are probably white people who do the same thing, and Asian people, and Spanish people, and everyone else can probably do the same thing. This is like the least offensive thing that you've shown of her saying.
Act oppressed. And you know, white privilege is a certain thing that really just ticks me off personally as a black person. The fact that you don't understand the perspective of other people and you're externalizing your own ideas that are so misconstrued based on what you live, you quite literally are a white woman. You know nothing about the black experience, and you also don't have any black friends, and you live in a very racist sphere of the internet. So you have...
Do you know that she has no black friends? Do you know if she's white? Again, you've already mentioned this video. You don't even know if she's Asian.
Not only no clue about what it is to be black, what it is to exist as a black person, but then your ideas of being black are all warped by the neo-Nazis and the racists and the edgelords around you who spew this stuff about black people on the internet. But racism is just the tip of the Ray iceberg. Let's get into the next section, degeneracy. Along with her extensive history of racism, Ray also has an extensively long history of degeneracy. Ray has been a supporter of a number of problematic and strange things for a long time. A number of forms of abuse, both
for a long time. He started the video off by saying that she's 18 years old. For a long time could mean multiple years. So he's about to talk about how a minor has this kind of interest in CNC, consensual non-consent, R-word play. So he's about to talk about how a minor had an interest in that. Instead of seeking help for it, he's going to now expose her and make her seem like a degenerate for having possibly a mental illness and possibly needing a therapist or something, or getting some type of help. Instead, no, let's basically degrade her for it.
consensual and unconsensual, everything from age play, race play to animal abuse and child abuse. And there are multiple screenshots and worse out there.
Okay, it says animals deserve to be abused. It's a blurred out picture. Forever will be the girl who put animals first. It's hard to tell what this even is.
Right, either jokingly saying it or openly describing and fantasizing about all.
And then here's I found these from her Twitter account of someone, them being R-word and, you know, brother and sister stuff, and blanking little or schoolgirls. If you get hard when I call you a P-word, I love you. That's what she said back on October 20th of 2023. Icky men who R-word underage girls are the best. That's disgusting. From October 13th, 2023. She said that the screenshots are from 2 years ago. They're from a year ago. Yikes. Again, how old was she? This sounds like a mentally ill person.
Of these, making statements and posts like these. The worst have been on her Twitter. She's made Twitter posts literally talking about how much she loves pedos and how she wants to be saved and interact with pedo men.
Yeah, that sounds like a mental illness. It sounds like she needs help. Though no, those SS are old, and yes, I've changed, and no, I don't make R-word jokes like, where are you getting this info? Those are not months old, or all those screenshots are from 2 years ago. You can keep exposing me for shit I've already addressed and I'm moving on from, so keep living in the past. I don't care. And then it says today at 5:37 p.m. Again, we don't know when today was. Was today, yesterday, a week ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, a year ago? Nobody knows.
Genuinely gut-sickeningly nasty to see. She's fetishizing literal assault, saying she wishes that she got threats of assault and how badly she wants to be assaulted, making posts about how hot and desirable race play is, and the same for age play. I'm not going to go super deep into what these things are, but if you want to know, go Google it. I'm not putting that in the video right now. Just know that each and every one of those is more disgusting than the last, and that's pretty much all you need to know. They're all weird, disturbing pastimes.
Yeah, they are weird and disturbing, and possibly something that makes this girl mentally ill. What are you doing?
Of degeneracy literally spans from extremely problematic to openly disgusting to
Okay, so he just kind of get
Ray's
past
history
that.
of degeneracy literally spans from extremely problematic
Again, that's this thing we just saw.
to openly
If he leaks me, I just expose him for being a P-word, blah, blah, blah. Again, that's really weird. Maybe she's mentally ill. Well, I just sell my body for Robux, lol. I don't give a F. Like, he ain't leaked me yet, and I have his full name. I don't agree with that. I think that's really gross. You shouldn't be a minor selling, you know, body pics and whatnot for Roblox money. That is kind of gross. But if this is like an accurate screenshot, then this would basically say that she was a minor in March 31st of 2024. It is now September 29th of 2024, which would mean she's turned 18 in the past, what, 6-7 months or so. I'm not good at math like that, but she's turned 18 this year, which means a lot of the screenshots that are being shown, she was again in her younger 17s.
disgusting to cringe. It's a layered thing. I've already covered majority of what is openly problematic and what is downright disgusting and weird, but then we just get into cringe territory. Ray having several posts where she posts videos and pictures of her with men's names written all over.
Guys, Landon owns Ray, Landon owns me. Again, a sign of mental illness. Why are you making a exposed video on a mentally ill teenager?
Thighs is embarrassing, or pictures of her with
Whoever that is, I feel bad for him. It's a picture of her with Landon, possibly the person she was crying for in the video in the beginning that you put a little funny music track over.
her feet in the camera. Just why are we doing this?
Yeah,
There's
that's weird.
one thing which being cringe is not punished.
Landon owns. I love Landon. I'm his. None of this is normal behavior. She has cuts all over her legs and writing all over her legs. This is a mental illness. This is a girl who needs help. And you're making this into content to laugh about and get clicks off of.
You can be cringe, and there's a lot of cringe creators who are still great, and a lot of cringe personalities out there who are still great, don't catch me wrong. But when you add the context to why a person might be doing things like this, I think it really just soils everything. How can you be considered just, oh, I'm silly and cringe, but you're also a raging racist, homophobe, and extremely disgusting as a person?
Because she's mentally ill. Because she's not okay in the head. And you've ruined her life for it. Again, I don't defend any of her actions. I think they're all insane. But I don't hate her for it. I think she needs help. And I think that taking someone who needs help and making a 12-minute, 13-minute expose video on them ruining their life and potential of ever having a future or a career or a happy life is stupid. It's stupid. There's no way you saw pictures of her with her legs all cut up saying, army, this guy. Here's a video of her crying over a boyfriend. And you're like, you know what? This will make a great 12, 13-minute video expose. I don't understand.
Right, so if you take everything that I previously listed and you contextualize it, then everything, the racism, the sexism, the homophobia, the enabling of disgusting things, her own personal weird things that she's into, that she spreads to other people, and that she likes to deal with that are all disgusting, right? And you take this. She is a creator who moderates her own Discord servers and has multiple servers where she has people who attract to her the kind of thing she's into spaces where there are lots of people who discover her on TikTok, kids that just play Roblox, or people who are just interacting with her bare minimum. They come into these spaces with a lot of weird people because, again, you figure if Ray is a disgusting individual, misery loves company. I definitely think the people she keeps around her are just like her or even worse, and we can see.
And they all need help then. That means they all need help. If they're just like her, then they all need help. Report the Discord, report her to a trust and safety team, try to get her help, whether that be through YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, wherever she's on. And you report her, and you report the people in her server posting similar content, having, you know, these interests in, you know, abuse and things like that, and being taken advantage of, an R word, things like that. Seek to help these people. Why are you making 13-minute expose videos to add to your laundry list of drama content? And this means a lot coming from me, right? I make videos like this, right? How do you go from talking about like Chris Tyson, Mr. Beast, Sketch, Boogie 2980 to Scum, and you're going to put a girl on here who, you know, carves into herself and has, you know, interests in the R word and things like that, clearly a mentally ill person, you're going to add her to the list just because, you know, she's made edgy jokes, she's done horrible things, but she is not okay in the head, and she was a minor in most of this. So dumb.
People interact with her, clearly they are. A lot of people who are related to this girl simply do not care about the things that she's doing. They don't care whatsoever. So as
it's because they think it's okay. Like her, they probably think these things are okay because they're not okay up here. Okay, you might be okay up there, which is why you can make this video, making this woman come out across as being the worst human being alive. But to me, it sounds like a 16, 17, 18-year-old girl who throughout these years is not okay in the head, has been given a platform. The worst thing you can do is platform someone who's not exactly okay in the head. And now you're trying to ruin her life. I wouldn't even say trying at this point. She's been banned on like every platform. Her family's being doxxed. People are literally posting her address in this video's comment section. He's not moderating it. He's arguing with people, calling other people racist, calling people out for being white and things like that. So this guy's okay to be racist, make things up about Ray's race, accuse her of not being Asian enough, accusing her of being European and a Nazi and a racist and all kinds of other things. But if she does anything else, she's the worst human being alive, even though she's severely mentally ill by everything that's been shown so far 9 minutes into the video.
For your followers to interact. It's up to you to moderate it in the discussion. The space in question was a Discord server. For obvious reasons, I cannot show examples of this, nor did I ask for anything visual relating to it. But Ray had a Discord server that went unmoderated. Racism, homophobia, edgy humor were the slightest concern in the server. The biggest issues were open conversations glamorizing self-harm, the spread and consuming of CP, and of course open discussions of doxing and cybercrime. Ray through her friendships, her community, her partners.
So there's no proof of any of that stuff. We have proof of all the other stuff, which is why I've been talking about it. If he's not going to show like any type of blurred evidence or anything of all that happening, I mean, I can understand the self-harm stuff because she's already kind of shown some of that. But if you're going to accuse her of like posting, you know, CP and things like that, that's an absolutely disgusting, heinous thing that I think you should at least have some type of evidence, whether it's like just the chat logs or discussions, kind of like what happened with Chris Tyson. Of course, we're not asking for the images, that's gross, but there should be some type of chat logs or something that showcase that.
And a number of other things, has enabled and partaken in, whether she directly or indirectly did, in multiple instances, the sharing of CP, open cybercrime, pedophilia, self-harm normalization, animal abuse, child abuse, and a number of other things. Not to mention, this server was just a cesspool full of e-boy gooners. If you're a creator and you are responsible for the spaces you curate, a lack of ability to properly moderate a space to be at least semi-safe means you shouldn't have a space whatsoever. And you're
okay,
not capable of
we agree with that. If this person's mentally ill and she's not okay in the head to have a platform, you report the server and you hope that she gets help, and you report her in any way you can to get her the help that she needs.
with a platform. Not to mention, through all these things I mentioned previously, it's really safe to say she allowed these things to happen because she either didn't care or genuinely liked the space she
Or
curated
she's
for herself
mentally
and did
ill.
not care. If you're perfectly comfortable making public posts about the things that you're into and the things that you're okay with, and DMing people your horrible racist thoughts, sexist thoughts, homophobic thoughts, then you're more than fine enabling the same things happening around you, because why would you be bothered? Even if you are only bothered in the instance of protecting yourself for the sake of your platform, that doesn't really matter in the long run, because at the end of the day, you're going to get caught doing this. Not to mention, through the multiple lies that I've displayed in this video, she's perfectly fine playing victim and lying about key details to make the story less damaging or to make herself look bad. For example, she lied about being Asian. She's not. Clearly, she is. If she
You've already proven you don't know if she's Asian or not. Why are you still using that point?
is Asian at all, it is a very slight amount of Asian because she still has very Eurocentric features. A lot of these
She lied about being Asian, but if she is actually Asian, it's only because she has a little bit. She's not Asian passing.
You're so stupid.
women in this dolly makeup cult like to say, oh, I'm Asian, I'm Asian, I'm Asian, but typically they're just white women who really like to
They're typically just white women. No proof though. I can't prove anything. I'm just gonna talk shit.
accentuate those features because they have an Asian fetishization problem. They are obsessed with Asian culture down to the very appearance that they wear on themselves. They quite literally strip themselves of everything that is their race and then adopt these other things while also being raging racist. It's an amazing thing. Overall, Ray Being Betrayed has definitely had a lot of skeletons in the closet and definitely a lot of things she has not addressed. Ray is, with the proof I've shown in this video, most definitely some kind of racist and most definitely some kind of homophobic, and has a lot of skeletons in the closet that just have not been dealt with yet. You can interpret this video however you want, but the point of this video is to just give people awareness on the kind of people that they are giving platforms to.
One of these people, I hate people like this, the people of raising awareness. I'm just here to raise awareness. I'm just trying to ruin this girl's life in the future to raise awareness, bro. I just want you guys to spread all of this on Twitter and Reddit and the whole internet to raise awareness, bro. Bad people, bro. Bad people do bad things. They do things before they think about it, you know. They're so quick to, you know, clutch pearls and pretend to be internet superheroes, and at the same time ruin a mentally ill girl's life before she's even matured enough to understand what the hell she's done wrong. Obviously 18 is pretty high enough age to realize what's right and wrong, but if you're not okay in the head, you age differently, you have a lot going on in your life, you clearly can't even have like relationships without harming yourself, or having these fits of rage where you're like screaming and crying on calls, you might not be okay in the head, and that's okay, because ETK Creates will make you a nice long video making you come across as the most horrible person alive.
People tend to give people the benefit of the doubt who say they're changing, but they never really show intensive proof of that change. There is no change with Ray. Ray lied straight to her fans about a number of things and lied to a number of people over the time that she has been on the internet. In reality, Ray is an extremely mentally ill, racist, sexist, homophobic, and pretty much just horrid individual over.
She's a mentally ill.
In reality, Ray is an extremely mentally ill, racist.
She's mentally ill,
sexist, homophobic, and pretty much just horrid individual overall. I don't think she needs to have a platform, nor do I think she needs to have anybody following her. But you let me know your opinion. That all being said, like and subscribe, and ETK, goodbye.
Someone from the dark.
Now that was a video for sure, guys. Again, that was ETK Creates video called Being Betrayed, Roblox and TikTok's worst e-girl. Now, I kind of wanted to just go through the comments a little bit to show you what's going on in this situation. Smaggle Daggle, who's someone very known in the commentary channel community, he says this is a dog shit video. You say that she's very racist while also saying she's too white to be Asian. You say her being racist and homophobic is the biggest thing in the video while also showing her say she sold her body for Robux. And the fact you never show anything in the Discord while confidently saying she endorsed people sending pizza and doxes to each other. By the way, she's a minor. Who cares if she was racist? And he puts racist in like quotes. This is kind of my idea. I mean, she was a minor who did some stupid things. She said racist jokes and made racist little salutes. Again, she's a minor. Great point, Smaggle. But ladies and gentlemen, if you scroll down a little more, there's, you know, things like her address and her name and whatnot, which I think is disgusting. I've reported those comments to YouTube. Either way, friends, this is about it for the video. It's more of a reaction type thing. I want to know your opinion. You know, this video might be a bit of a hot stinker. I know a lot of you guys might not like it because you've been watching my coverage of the Beast stuff, and you're probably going to be like, allegations are important. Allegations are very important because without them, we wouldn't hear anything about the Mr. Beast stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I agree with you because that's coming from I want to say a good faith people. It's coming from people who want a big rich celebrity person to be taken down for doing bad things for a long time. Not, chronically online Twitter and Reddit nerds who just don't like mentally ill people and they want to see a mentally ill girl suffer even more and ruin their life, right? There's a clear difference. The Mr. Beast stuff, we can see people have been, researching more into it, looking into it, platforming it onto the news, trying to get statements and hoping Mr. Beast says something. In a case like this, we have this girl who's just barely an adult, even if you consider 18 an adult. 21 is sometimes what people consider an adult, right? She's legal age, just barely. And her life is over, right? Because she got an edgy past, and you can clearly tell she's mentally ill, crying over men and harming herself, cutting her legs up, writing names, having fantasies of abuse and whatnot. Clearly not someone okay in the head. And instead of seeking to help a person like this, calling some sort of organization to go to her home and reach out and try to help her, you're going to make this hit piece, 13-minute video, which I do a reaction on that ends up being a whole lot longer. What do we gain from this? Just the idea that we've ruined a mentally ill girl's life because she was too edgy for the internet. I agree that she shouldn't have a Discord, right? Especially if she did some of those things that are he said, she said about the cheese pizza and whatnot. Absolutely disgusting behavior. But this girl's life is ruined now. The internet has fat shamed her again, body shamed her, Asian fish shamed her, whatever the case may be, all based on, some screenshots and a lot of stuff out of context. Again, it's kind of hard to say like the salute is out of context, but dark humor is very dark humor. If you're doing things in like a server or a private call that you have a tight niche and tight click with, you can do things, and sometimes you might do things that are a little too offensive and too edgy. More of that like 2016 type of humor. Again, I'm not defending it. I think it's dumb. But she did it, and now her life's over. Not over, but it's ruined. Having an internet presence is gone. And I hope you're happy with that, ETK Creates. Because you've got your message out there to 147,000 people. She has no platforms anymore. She has no channels. And the internet hates her. I don't hate her. I think she needs help. I hope her life's not ruined. I hope she's able to, stick around. I hope she doesn't end up hurting herself even more. Because a lot of people do things like that, especially if they're mentally ill and their life's over. Their chance of ever having a future is over. Their chance of ever having a career is over. Going to college is over. Because you didn't like jokes and offensive things they said when they were a child. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think of the video. Bye.